Peace be to you all. Assalamualaikum. This is Omar Abdul Malik, physician associate and health educator. So, I may just ramble today about something I found interesting. Trying to make yourself an elite type of person, and what distinguishes elite people from regular people. And by elite people, I don't mean people who are born rich, the so-called silver spoon in their mouth, or they have some type of genetic predisposition to being elite in their field. I mean, people who have worked, they have to work at it, and they are competing against people who are very good in their particular field, but they've outworked them, or they've worked smarter and figured out what they need to do to make themselves elite. I was watching some highlights from this. I'm a mixed martial arts fan. I'm just a casual, but I find it, unfortunately, I find it really entertaining and fascinating. I come from a wrestling and martial arts background, so I wanted to do mixed martial arts when I was younger. This was like 30 years ago when they didn't have weight classes. So obviously I would have gotten killed at 5'9" and a hulking 151 pounds after a heavy meal. But it was really fascinating to me to watch highlights from guys like, Kobe Covington and Kamaru Usman and Michael Chandler and Justin Gaethje, and even Rose and Wei Li, I think, Zhang. These guys are just incredible. Like I said, what does it take? What's these close matches where you got people who they're both savages in their own right. Savage in the colloquial term meaning good. They've established themselves as the top people in their particular weight class in the world, and now they're going to go against somebody else who's like one of the top people in their weight class in the world. And that very fine distinction between who walks out the cage, this octagon, who walks out a winner and who walks out the loser. And it's very difficult to distinguish, and not too many of us are going to get to that type of level in our fields, because we're not ever going to figure out what we need to do in terms of, if you're come from an academic background like me. I was a very trifling pre-med student and I couldn't quite figure out what I needed to do to get those super high grades that get you into medical school, or get A's in chemistry, physics, and biology, And I would hear people talk, and they'd say, well, I do all the problems in the book and the workbook, and I spent hours doing the problems until I see them in my sleep. And I wasn't willing to do that. I'm average intelligence, I think. I'm definitely not above average, but when it comes to math and things like that, I was always average. So with that being said, you got to put in far, far above average work ethic and a type of organized work. So back to the UFC thing, they were showing the highlights of how these guys work out, their meal plan, every aspect of their life is scheduled, and they have people to train them and go over past fights with them and reels, and this is where you made a mistake, so you need to adjust for this particular person's kick or their strike or their takedown defense. Or you need to get on a special diet so you can make sure that you make weight, during weigh-ins. And it's amazing the kind of extreme discipline that these elite people put themselves through. And this guy, Khabib Nurmagomedov, I didn't butcher his name, but his brother, he was like the greatest UFC lightweight ever, undisputed, undefeated. This guy, he was quoted as saying, being this kind of elite level athlete is like you have to put yourself in jail. You don't get to hang out with friends and do things that regular people do. That's how it is. And I remember, the one time I actually went to a pre-med meeting in undergraduate, this guy was saying, he was already in med school, he was saying, well, the med schools don't want the person who has the 4.0 GPA and they've spent their entire four years of undergraduate in a basement studying. They want someone that's well-rounded. You don't have the best grades. I don't believe that. I found that to be a fallacy. That's not true. And they want people with the highest GPAs because they have to decide. They got to be able to determine, can this person make it through med school or PA school, if you like? Can they pass their boards? And it doesn't necessarily mean, if you're a 4.0 student that you're going to become a good clinician. But it means that you're going to get through the academic rigors just to get to that point. And, the high GPA folks, they tend to do that. So you got to decide what you're going to do. Are you going to put yourself under arrest, house arrest, or library arrest to get the grades necessary to get into the school of your choice? That's it for now. I wish you guys the best of success in your positive endeavors. Reach out to me if you want to go to PA school. Take care. Peace.